It's time now for Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons. Presenting Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons, in a new Mr. Keene series, in which the kindly old investigator will bring you his most celebrated cases on Mondays through Fridays at this same time. Tonight's case is entitled The Shrieking Prisoner Murder Case. Our scene opens in a large, old-fashioned home situated in a lonely section of New York City. It is night, and a young man is entering the darkened house. He gropes his way through one of the rooms, unaware that he is moving towards sudden death.
It's so dark in here. I wonder if I can find a light switch. Aunt Martha. Aunt Amy, are you at home? They're not here. The house is completely empty. What's that? Where is that screaming coming from? Oh, where's the door? It's so dark I can't see a thing. Don't point that gun at me. Put it down, do you hear? No! Don't shoot! No!
Is this the office of Mr. Keene, the private investigator?
It is, ma'am. I'm his partner, Mike Clancy.
My name is Mrs. Jane Travers. I must see Mr. Keene at once. It's a matter of life and death.
Oh, here's Mr. Keene now, coming out of his private office.
Mr. Keene.
You wish to see me?
I'm Mrs. Jane Travers. Something horrible has happened, and I've come to you hoping you can help me. I've heard so much about you, Mr. Keene. People say you're not only a noted tracer of lost persons, but you're also famous for solving murder cases.
Many of my cases do involve murders.
Oh, then, Mr. Keene, I'm hoping you'll help me. I'm so shocked and confused. I don't know which way to turn.
Oh, please sit down and try to compose yourself, Mrs. Travers. Has someone you know been murdered?
My husband, Donald. He was shot to death last night in the home of my two aunts. One of them may be under suspicion for the crime.
Please give me all the details, Mrs. Travers.
I have two unmarried aunts, Mr. Keene. My Aunt Martha Carson and my Aunt Amy. They've been living alone for years in an old house in a quiet section of the city.
Where your husband's murder took place?
Yes. I don't see my aunts very often. I'm afraid they're both rather eccentric. They don't encourage visitors. In fact, they have a rather frightening reputation in the neighborhood.
Frightening, Mrs. Travers? In what way?
They're known as the Weird Sisters. They hardly ever leave the house, and very few people get a chance to see them. Yesterday, my husband Donald went over there.
For any particular reason?
Well, I hadn't heard from my aunts in over 6 months, and I was worried about them. I felt that something was wrong. They have no telephone, so Donald decided to investigate.
By himself, Mrs. Travers?
I was going to go with him, Mr. Keene, but I developed a violent headache a few hours before, and Donald went alone.
Well, a good thing for you, maybe, ma'am.
You mean, Mr. Clancy, I could have been murdered along with my husband? Well, when I think that Donald is gone,
We understand, my dear.
Anyway, Donald went over to see my aunts. And the next thing I knew, the police notified me of his murder. We'd only been married 8 months, and we were so very happy.
What did the police investigation disclose, Mrs. Travers?
As far as I know, Mr. Keene, they only spoke to Aunt Martha. She's 45 now, I think about 10 years older than her sister Amy.
And what did your Aunt Martha tell the police?
She said she was out of the house when Donald was shot, and that Aunt Amy is away in the country. But when the police question people in the neighborhood, they're bound to find out that Aunt Martha was lying.
You're sure of that?
Aunt Amy would never leave Martha and go out of the city, for one thing. And Aunt Martha herself only left the house once in 6 months at the most. Oh, Mr. Keene, something must be terribly wrong with my aunts.
Are you afraid that they may be involved in your husband's murder?
Oh, no. No, I just can't believe that either of them had anything to do with Donald's murder. It's just that with those rumors going around.
Rumors of their eccentricity?
Some people have even said there's a streak of insanity in their behavior. The police may think that one of my aunts killed Donald in a burst of maniacal fury. Oh, Mr. Keene, please, please do something to find out the truth.
I assure you, we'll do our utmost to help you, Mrs. Travers.
All Aunt Martha and Aunt Amy have in the world is each other. And in some ways, their relationship is almost like a stern mother and daughter.
How do you mean?
Well, Aunt Martha has always dominated Aunt Amy, for one thing. Even to the point of interfering with her personal affairs.
To what specific personal affairs are you referring?
Well, I don't know this is a positive fact, but I heard that my Aunt Amy once had a chance to marry. Was a man named George Wheeler. But Aunt Martha talked her out of it.
Do you know why, Mrs. Travers?
No, I don't, Mr. Keene. Oh, but please don't misunderstand me. Their relationship was always very warm and happy, at least as far as I knew. And in spite of their odd way of living, they got along together.
I see.
Oh, more than anything else in the world, I want my husband's murderer found. But if it should involve an innocent person, someone who used to be very close to me, I...
Suppose you take us to your aunt's house, Mrs. Travers.
I have an unhappy job to do first, Mr. Keene. Arrange for my husband's funeral. But I can give you the address and meet you there later.
Very well. Write it down here, please.
Yes. Mrs. Martha and Amy Carson, 1124 Ivy Road.
Mike, we'll proceed to that address immediately and see if we can start unraveling the mystery of Donald Travers' murder on the scene of the crime.
Well, this is the house, Mr. Keene. Sure, and it's nothing but a rickety pile of shingles going to seed.
There doesn't seem to be a doorbell, Mike.
Well?
Miss Carson?
I'm Martha Carson, yes.
My name is Keene, and this is my partner, Mike Clancy. We're investigating the murder of Donald Travers, your niece's husband.
Who sent for you?
We were asked to take the case by Jane Travers, your niece.
The police have already been here. If you're not from them...
Let's not have any trouble, ma'am. We usually work along with the police.
May we come in, Miss Martha?
Well, just for a minute.
Are you alone?
Yes.
I understand your younger sister, Amy, lives here with you.
Amy's gone. She'll be away for the rest of the month, at least.
I'd like to ask you a few questions, Miss Martha.
The police have already talked to me about my nephew's murder, Mr. Keene. I told them I knew nothing about it.
You were out of this house when it happened?
Yes.
Where, may I ask?
I was just out, that's all. Doing some shopping.
Oh, then perhaps someone at the store where you shopped would be able to identify you.
Why should I need that, Mr. Keene?
Miss Martha, according to your niece, you and your sister Amy may come under some suspicion in this murder case. And I want to help you if I can.
I don't need any help. I can take care of this by myself.
What's that chopping noise?
Mr. Keene, there's a fella standing out there chopping down a dead tree. I can see him from this window.
That's our handyman, Luther Prague. He does work around here.
He looks big enough to pull that tree up by the roots with his bare hands.
Mr. Keene, do you really think the police might suspect me or my sister Amy in some way?
Your niece seems to think so, Miss Martha.
And I don't want anyone to say I'm hiding something. I could tell you about someone you might want to talk to, but I don't want him to know you heard it from me.
Who is it?
A man named George Wheeler.
The man who wanted to marry your sister Amy?
How do you know about that, Mr. Keene?
Your niece, Jane Travers, mentioned it.
Well, she had no right to. Well, anyway, George Wheeler had it in for Donald Travers.
He did? Why?
My sister Amy found out that George Wheeler couldn't be trusted, and it was Donald who told it to her. That's why, well, that's what broke up Amy's romance with George Wheeler.
And Wheeler hated Donald Travers for that.
Naturally.
Was George Wheeler anywhere near this house when young Travers was murdered?
He could have been. He lives only a short distance away. Mr. Keene, I never trusted the man myself, and when he loses his temper, he's capable of anything.
You realize, of course, Miss Martha, that your accusations are very grave, and that they might make George Wheeler an important suspect in this murder case.
I'm telling you the truth, Mr. Keene.
What is George Wheeler's address?
He lives in the small gray house on the corner. You can't miss it.
Perhaps we'd better question him, Mick.
Sounds like a good idea, Mr. Keene.
You'll find him at home now if you go right over.
Very well, Miss Martha.
Saints preserve us.
Who is that, Miss Martha?
None of your business, Mr. Keene.
Boss, it almost sounds like a trapped animal.
Miss Martha, where is that shriek coming from?
I won't tell you. Get out of my house and leave us alone.
Mike, let's go upstairs and investigate.
No, I won't let you do it. Luther? Luther, come in here quickly.
Mr. Keene, she's calling that big gorilla, the handyman.
I'm afraid we're in for a little trouble, Mick. Come on, Mike. We're going upstairs and...
No, don't you dare. Luther, stop these two men. Don't let them go upstairs.
Mr. Keene, it's the Axeman, and he's got that chopper in his hand.
Nevertheless, Mike, we're going upstairs right now to find out who is doing that shrieking and why.
Who is imprisoned in the room upstairs in the home of the strange Carson sisters? And what part did the prisoner play in the murder of Donald Travers? The rest of this exciting story will be heard on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at this same time. Be sure to listen again on Wednesday for Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons.
A most unusual Western program is the many times cited CBS radio series called Gunsmoke. This half-hour Saturday night adventure program recreates the authentic atmosphere of old Dodge City when the West was young and wild. In the character of United States Marshal Matt Dillon, you have a composite of all the restless, uncertain men who did their best to fight the battle for law and order according to their own lights. Remember, Gunsmoke is yours for thrills every Saturday night over most of these same stations. Your announcer, George Bryan. Gangbusters go into action Saturday nights on the CBS Radio Network.
Presenting Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons, in our new Mr. Keene series, in which the kindly old investigator brings to us his most celebrated cases on Mondays through Fridays at this same time. Tonight, the Shrieking Prisoner Murder Case. The scene opens at night in a large, old-fashioned house in a lonely section of New York City. A young man has just entered the darkened interior, and as he moves across the room, he hears a sudden, blood-curdling shriek of frustration and anguish coming from another part of the house. The young man stands frozen for a moment. Then, as he quickly moves to a door and opens it, a shot rings out. A moment later, a murderer peers down with grim satisfaction at the figure on the floor. The lifeless body of a young man with a bullet through his heart. And now, Mr. Keene, the famous investigator, and his partner, Mike Clancy, are looking into the murder. The scene of the crime is a home owned by two weird sisters, Martha and Amy Carson. And the murdered man is their niece's young husband. Why has he been murdered? Mr. Keene is first attempting to find the source of the frightful shrieking which has been heard in the house. But he and Mike are being blocked by Martha Carson and Luther Prague, her burly handyman, who has entered the room with an axe in his hand. As Mr. Keene says,
Martha Carson, I'm here with my partner, Mike Clancy, to investigate the murder of young Donald Travers. I suggest you tell your handyman to let us go upstairs to find out who's shrieking up there.
No, you can't go up there.
If you go up, I'll chop you both to pieces.
My partner, Mike Clancy, happens to be armed himself, Luther Prague.
And my gun can speak a lot faster than his axe, boss.
I told you to get out of my house, Mr. Keene.
We're going to find out who's upstairs, Miss Martha, shrieking like a trapped animal. If you try to prevent us, you'll only put yourself further under suspicion for the murder that occurred in this house last night.
Luther, don't let Mr. Keene go upstairs.
Get out of here, both of you. I'll chop the two of you to pieces with this axe if you try to go upstairs.
Look out, boss. He means it.
Careful, Mike. Miss Martha, call this man off, or there'll be trouble.
No, you have no right to search this house.
Are you getting out, or do I chop you both to pieces with this axe?
Put that axe down, Luther.
And be quick about it.
Well, Miss Martha...
Put it down, or I knock it out of your hand.
I'll tear you apart, you...
Luther!
Well, he's not hurt bad. I just had to quiet him down a little.
Well, Miss Martha, are you going to take us upstairs now? Or do we find out by ourselves who is shrieking up there? And what it has to do with the murder that occurred here in your house last night?
I'll take you upstairs, Mr. Keene. Come with me. Before I open the door, Mr. Keene, let me tell you something. No one in this house right now had anything to do with the murder of young Donald Travers, my niece's husband.
That remains to be proven, Miss Martha.
My niece, Jane Travers, should never have sent you here.
Jane Travers only wanted to help you prove your innocence, Miss Martha. The police may be putting both you and your sister under arrest shortly.
But why, Mr. Keene? We had nothing against Donald.
Well, it's your reputation that's against you, lady.
You mean the reputation we have in this neighborhood for being eccentric, Mr. Clancy? For being weird sisters?
There's talk about the possibility of insanity in your family.
And if that don't sound like a crazy woman, I never heard one.
Mr. Keene, there is insanity in my family, as you'll see right now. You can go inside the room.
Mr. Keene, there she is. Saints preserve us, she's staring at us.
With vacant, expressionless eyes.
Look at her hair, falling down like strings of rope over her face. And her fingernails, they must be an inch long.
Mr. Keene, this is my sister Amy.
And you keep her locked up in this room, Miss Martha?
For her own good.
For my own good? You mean because you hate me? Everybody hates me.
Amy.
Don't touch me, Martha.
Miss Martha, you lied when you said your sister Amy was away in the country.
I didn't want anyone to know that Amy was up here in this room, Mr. Keene. Because I don't want her taken away and put in an asylum. I'll do anything to prevent that.
Be careful what you say, Miss Martha. Anything could mean that you may have murdered young Donald Travers to stop him from discovering your secret.
No, I didn't kill him, Mr. Keene, and neither did my sister Amy.
But Amy was inside the house when the murder occurred.
Yes, she was. But, Mr. Keene, I told you about a man you ought to question in this case, George Wheeler. When he broke up with Amy, she lost her mind. She loved George so much.
George? Where is George? Why doesn't he come to see me? Why?
Amy, try to control yourself.
Miss Martha, you told us that this man, George Wheeler, hated your nephew, Donald Travers, because Travers accused Wheeler of being untrustworthy and advised your sister Amy here not to marry him.
My sister Amy went out of her mind because she was so madly in love with Wheeler. The shock of finding out he was beneath her was too much.
And you had nothing to do with it?
Martha had a great deal to do with it, Mr. Keene.
George Wheeler!
I heard what you said to these people as I came up the stairs, Martha. I heard you trying to accuse me of murder.
George! You've come to rescue me!
No, Amy, I can't take you away from here. I didn't come for
Then I'll fight my way out. I'll tear my way out with my fingernails.
Stop that!
You know I didn't mean it, Martha. Don't be angry.
Amy, I'm terribly sorry.
What are you doing in my house, George Wheeler? I told you to stay out of here for good.
I came, Martha, because I thought the police would still be here. And I had some evidence for them. But first, I want to clear up a few matters with Mr. Keene. I know who you are, sir.
Well, Mr. Wheeler?
Amy Carson loved me. And she would have married me if it hadn't been for her sister Martha. Martha made Amy turn me down when I proposed.
And rightly so. You knew my sister had some money, and you thought you could live on that once you married her.
I have a good job, Martha. You know that. I don't need Amy's money. If it weren't for her sister Martha's domination, Amy wouldn't be the poor, broken figure you see her as now. Look at her, Mr. Keene. It's pitiful.
Sure, and she just stares at the wall as if none of us were in the room.
My heart breaks when I see her this way, Mr. Clancy.
It's possible, isn't it, Mr. Wheeler, that Amy Carson could have resented Donald Travers just as you did?
Oh, how do you mean, Mr. Keene?
Why exactly did Donald Travers object to her marriage to you?
He said that I was after her money.
Martha, do you and your sister have a great deal of money?
We had enough to live comfortably, Mr. Keene.
Judging by this house, it couldn't be a fortune.
In any case, Mike, if Amy Carson had resented the things young Donald Travers said about the man she loved, she may have wanted to strike back at her nephew herself.
Oh, no, Mr. Keene. Amy wouldn't murder because of that.
Amy Carson is obviously insane, Mr. Wheeler, and probably dangerous. And in that state, she could be capable of anything. Even murder, with no motive at all.
And what about Martha Carson? Is she completely above any suspicion?
How dare you accuse me, George Wheeler? Mr. Keene, do you think I could have murdered my nephew to prevent him from finding out about Amy and sending her to an asylum?
That's how the police may take it, Miss Martha. Mr. Wheeler, a moment ago you said you had some new evidence. What is it?
This gold watch, Mr. Keene.
Well, let's see it, mister.
Well, I found it this morning, and I recognized it as Donald Travers' watch.
It belonged to the murder victim?
Yes, Mr. Keene, absolutely. I'd seen Travers wear it several times.
And where did you find it?
In Luther Prague's room.
Boss, Luther Prague must have stolen this watch from the murdered man.
If he did, Mike, we'll be dealing with another suspect in this case. Mr. Wheeler, was Luther Prague downstairs when you came into the house?
No, Mr. Keene.
Well, he must have come to and left right after we came up here, boss.
Yes, Mike. Where does he live, Mr. Wheeler?
He can usually be found in an old abandoned shack. It's in an empty lot a short distance from here.
I wonder if anything else was missing from the victim's body that Luther Prague may have taken.
I searched Luther's room carefully, but that was all I could find. Mr.
Well,
Keene.
it's all beginning to add up, boss. Looks like that big muscle man, Luther Prague, is the next fellow we want to see.
Yes, Mike. Martha, before I leave, I want to know what you intend doing about your sister Amy here. She's insane. She may be dangerous.
I'll have her examined by a doctor, Mr. Keene. And if he tells me to send her away to a mental institution, I will.
Mr. Wheeler.
Yes, Mr. Keene.
Would you point out Luther Prague's shack to us now?
I will, Mr. Keene.
And then I must ask you to remain close by yourself for further questioning.
In other words, I'm still a suspect, too.
Frankly, yes.
Very well, Mr. Keene. I'll do just as you say.
All right, Mike. Now we'll have a talk with Luther Prague and find out just how he obtained this watch and what he knows about young Donald Travers' murder.
Okay, boss.
I'll be talking to you later, Miss Martha.
All right, Mr. Keene. Amy, stop crying.
You said you were going to send me away. You said that, Martha. I hate you.
They'll never take you away, Amy. I won't let them. I'll kill anyone who tries to take you away. I swear it.
The handyman Luther Prague has become a fourth murder suspect on Mr. Keene's list. But was young Donald Travers murdered with robbery as the motive? Or is the murder linked to the mystery of the insane woman so closely guarded by her older sister? The rest of this exciting story will be heard on Thursday and Friday at this same time. Be sure to listen tomorrow to Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons. Be sure to listen to Mr. Keene tomorrow, Thursday, at this same time for the next episode of The Shrieking Prisoner Murder Case. And don't miss the regular half-hour Mr. Keene program, heard every Friday night over most of these stations. Tomorrow evening, CBS Radio gives the spotlight to Kathy and Elliot Lewis on stage with a poignant drama titled The Younger Sister. It tells how an older sister's feeling of responsibility toward her sister threatens the marriages of both girls. Don't miss Kathy and Elliot Lewis on stage tomorrow night on most of these same stations. Also tomorrow evening at the Star's address, enjoy the laughs when you meet Millie on her latest escapade. Millie Bronson, played by Elena Verdugo, and her addle-headed mama get into all kinds of troubles up in a mountain resort. Yes, meet Millie tomorrow night, and you'll laugh. Your announcer, Stuart Metz. It's time now for Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons. Presenting Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons, in our new Mr. Keene series, in which the kindly old investigator brings to us his most celebrated cases on Mondays through Fridays at this same time. Tonight, the Shrieking Prisoner Murder Case. Mr. Keene, the famous investigator, and his partner Mike Clancy are looking into the strange murder of young Donald Travers, who was shot to death in a lonely house owned by his wife's two eccentric aunts, Martha and Amy Carson. Both Carson sisters are suspects in the case, for Amy is shriekingly insane, and Martha was determined that no one should find out about it. A third suspect is George Wheeler, whose engagement to Amy Carson was broken because of the victim's interference. But now, Mr. Keene and Mike have gone to investigate still another suspect, a handyman named Luther Prague. Meanwhile, in the Carson house, Martha tries to calm her insane sister Amy. And inside the room in the attic, which has been Amy Carson's prison, we hear...
Amy! You must be quiet. You know you can trust me, your own sister.
Trust you, Martha? When you keep me locked up here like a prisoner?
It's for your own good. I swore no one would take you to an insane asylum, and I'm keeping that promise.
Who were those strange men who were here?
That was Mr. Keene, the famous investigator, and his partner, Mr. Clancy.
Investigators?
Yes. They're trying to find out who murdered our nephew, Donald Travers, here in our house last night.
Oh.
George Wheeler has taken them to Luther Prague's shack. They think Luther, our handyman, murdered Donald Travers.
They do? But why?
They think Luther killed him to rob him. And I've told them something else, Amy. I said George Wheeler could have murdered Donald because Donald said something that broke up your romance with George.
My romance? Martha, you broke up my engagement to George.
Donald Travers was the one who called George a fortune hunter, wasn't he?
Yes, Donald did. And I could have killed him when he said it.
Amy, don't say that in front of Mr. Keene. I think we've got him fooled now, so let's not spoil it.
You're trying to fool Mr. Keene?
Yes. He never would have come here if our niece Jane hadn't sent him.
Jane Travers? Donald's wife?
She's another one who's trying to interfere. They're all trying to send you away to an asylum, Amy. But they'll have to do it over my dead body.
You're too smart for them, aren't you, Martha?
I certainly am. And I'm not through with Mr. Keene yet. I've got a few other ways to confuse him, too. Now, you stay where you are, Amy.
What are you doing, Martha?
I can see Luther's shack through this window. Mr. Keene and his partner are walking towards it. George Wheeler is gone. I'm leaving now, Amy.
Take me with you, Martha. Don't leave me alone in this room again.
You've got to stay here, Amy. But don't be afraid. When I talk to Mr. Keene, I'll make certain he ends up in more of a muddle than ever.
No! Don't shut me out!
Be quiet!
No! Don't lock me up! Don't! Open the door! Let me out! Let me
Well, it's no use, Mr. Keene. The door to this shack of Luther Prague's is good and locked. I've worked on it now for half an hour.
If we want to search this place, Mike, you'll have to find another way of getting in.
I might be able to force a window.
When George Wheeler found that watch that had been stolen from the murdered man, Donald Travers, this door must have been accidentally left locked.
Mr. Keene!
Boss, it's Martha Carson.
Mr. Keene! My sister, Amy. She's escaped.
She got out of that room, Miss Martha?
She tied the bed sheets together and let herself down through the window.
Saints preserve us. Now we've got a crazy woman running around loose.
I'd better make a thorough search of the neighborhood for her, Mike. And meanwhile, you try to get into this shack of Luther Prague somehow and search it.
Right, Mr. Keene, sir.
Come with me, Miss Martha. We'd better find your sister Amy before she has a chance to do anything violent. We've gone over the neighborhood pretty thoroughly, Miss Martha. But we found no sign of your sister Amy.
It's getting dark, Mr. Keene.
It was foolish of you not to turn your sister over to the health authorities the moment you knew she was insane, Miss Martha.
I realize that now, but I couldn't bear to let her go. She is all I have, Mr. Keene. We've lived in this house for 20 years, ever since our parents died.
How long ago did you decide to shut yourself off from the rest of the world?
Oh, 10 years or more, Mr. Keene. It happened when I was disappointed in love. I was going to marry someone, but he jilted me.
And so you couldn't stand the idea of your sister Amy marrying either a short time ago?
It was Donald Travers who broke up her engagement to George Wheeler when he said George was a fortune hunter. That's what caused Amy's mind to crack.
And it could have caused her to murder Donald Travers.
No, that's not true, Mr. Keene. After all, I had something to do with that broken engagement, too. I loved Amy too much to let her marry that scoundrel.
And did you love her so much you would have committed murder? To keep someone like Donald Travers from finding out about Amy's insanity and sending her to an asylum?
That's ridiculous. You can't prove a thing like that, Mr. Keene.
Miss Martha, what kind of an income do you have? How do you get money to live?
I told you, Mr. Keene, we had a little money left to us by my father.
May I ask how much?
That happens to be my business. It was enough to get by on through the years.
And where do you keep this money, Miss Martha?
Why are you asking me so many questions about my money, Mr. Keene? I don't like to talk about it.
Is it in the bank?
No. I have it in an even safer place. And that's all I'm going to tell you about my financial affairs.
Oh, Mr. Keene.
Oh, well, now, here comes your partner, Mr. Clancy.
Yes, Mike?
Well, boss, I just had another tussle with Luther Prague, that axe-swinging handyman. This time I left him in his shack tied to a bedpost with handcuffs.
Did he come in while you were searching his place, Mike?
That he did, sir. And just as I found some very important evidence.
What did you find, Mike?
Well, first of all, I found this wallet. It's got the initials DT on it.
Donald Travers, the murdered man.
That's right, boss. It's also got $200 in cash inside it. I found it in Luther's pocket when he came into his shack.
What else did you discover there, Mike?
And this gun, sir. It's a .38 caliber job, and one bullet is missing.
That might be the murder weapon.
Well, it was in Luther Prague's drawer.
There you are, Mr. Keene. It looks as though you've solved the mystery of my nephew's murder.
Does it, Miss Martha?
Our handyman, Luther Prague, killed Donald Travers. There's no question about it. He murdered Donald to steal that wallet and Donald's watch. The watch that George Wheeler found in Luther's room.
The handyman admits he stole the watch and wallet, Mr. Keene. But he says he didn't kill the young fella.
Then how does he explain having the watch and wallet, Mike?
Well, Luther claims he heard the shot when Donald Travers was murdered. He says he was outside the Carson house at the time. And when Luther ran in, he found the body, but he didn't call the police himself.
You mean he robbed the dead man?
Yeah, that's what he admits. He told me he figured the dead man couldn't use the money or the watch anymore, so he might as well make use of it himself.
And what did Luther Prague say about the gun you found in his shack, Mike?
Well, he said he never saw it before in his life, boss. And he swears he didn't murder Donald Travers.
Mr. Keene.
What is it, Miss Martha?
I thought I saw a light flash in the cellar of our house. Through that low window behind you.
She's right, boss. I saw it myself just now. Like someone was shining a flashlight on and off for a second or two.
How do we get into the cellar, Miss Martha?
There's a door on the other side of the house. Right around that corner.
Please stay here. We'll investigate that light. Come with me, Mike.
Well, here's the cellar door, Mr. Keene.
Open it, please, Mike.
Oh, there's a short flight of wooden steps leading downstairs.
Flash your light down there.
Careful, Mr. Keene. These steps are wet.
Yes, there seems to be a small leak in the water pipe above us.
Well, there's no one here in the cellar, Mr. Keene. Whoever it was flashing that light must have gotten away through that other door over there, leading up into the house.
Now, just a minute, Mike. There seem to be footprints here. The stairs were wet when the intruder came down, and there are 3 or 4 very clear footprints on the cement floor. Mike, shine your flashlight on the wall over there.
What? Mr. Keene, a big chunk of cement's been taken out of the wall. Looks like there was some kind of a hiding place there.
And, Mike, here's a $50 bill on the floor.
A $50 bill? What do you think it means, Mr. Keene?
It may mean we are very close to the solution to this murder case. Let's look around a bit more.
It's as quiet as a tomb down here. Sure, it makes my skin creep when I think that Amy Carson, a madwoman, is running around loose.
Flash your light on that hole in the wall once more, Mike.
There you are, sir.
The hole is lined with wood, and apparently it was used to hide valuables. Martha Carson tried to avoid the topic of money every time I brought it up, Mike.
Well, I think we'll know the truth when we tell her this wall's been tampered with, Mr. Keene.
I'm sure we will.
Mr. Keene, suppose them footprints on the stairs were made by that loony woman, Amy Carson. Look, boss, they lead right across the cellar floor and up those other stairs again.
That second flight of stairs must lead into the house. Mike, I'm going to follow those footprints up there.
Boss, remember crazy Amy Carson is dangerous. If she murdered Donald Travers, she wouldn't stop at trying to murder somebody else. She's a homicidal maniac.
Homicidal maniac or not, Mike, I'm going up there. Now.
Is Mr. Keene walking up into the arms of a homicidal maniac? Which of Mr. Keene's suspects murdered Donald Travers? And why? For the solution to this startling mystery, be sure to listen tomorrow at this same time to Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons.
A most unusual Western program is the many times cited CBS radio series called Gunsmoke. This half-hour Saturday night adventure program recreates the authentic atmosphere of old Dodge City when the West was young and wild. In the character of United States Marshal Matt Dillon, you have a composite of all the restless, uncertain men who did their best to fight the battle for law and order according to their own lights. Remember, Gunsmoke is yours for thrills every Saturday night over most of these same stations. Your announcer, George Bryan. Gangbusters go into action Saturday nights on the CBS Radio Network.
It's time now for Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons.
Presenting Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons, in our new Mr. Keene series, in which the kindly old investigator brings to us his most celebrated cases on Mondays through Fridays at this same time. Tonight, the Shrieking Prisoner murder case. Mr. Keene, the famous investigator, and his partner, Mike Clancy, are investigating the strange murder of Donald Travers, who was shot to death as he entered a lonely house owned by his wife's two eccentric aunts, Martha and Amy Carson. Amy Carson is insane, and although both sisters are suspects in the case, Mr. Keene has his eye on two other suspects, Luther Prague, a handyman who robbed the victim, and George Wheeler, who at one time wanted to marry Amy Carson. But now, Mr. Keene has found an empty hiding place in the wall of the Carson cellar, and strange footprints lead up from the cellar to the house. Footprints that may have been made by the insane Amy Carson. Now, as Mr. Keene and Mike slowly mount the cellar stairs, wondering whether they're walking into the arms of a homicidal maniac, Mike is saying,
Mr. Keene, remember Amy Carson is dangerous. If she murdered Donald Travers, she wouldn't stop at trying to kill someone else.
I know, Mike, but we've got to find out who made these footprints and where they lead.
We're liable to meet her up here, behind this door, waiting for us with the kitchen knife.
Now, Mike, open that door.
There's a woman there, boss.
Yes, Mike, but it's Jane Travers, the wife of the murdered man.
Oh, Mr. Keene, I just got here to my aunt's house. Have you found any new evidence about my husband's murder?
My partner, Mike Clancy, and I have uncovered quite a bit of evidence, Mrs. Travers. I think I know now who murdered your husband.
Was it one of my aunts, Aunt Martha or Aunt Amy?
I'll name the killer as soon as I have my final clue, Mrs. Travers. Meanwhile, let me tell you what we've uncovered in this case so far. I think you have a right to know. Both your aunts are under strong suspicion.
But why, Mr. Keene? Why would they do such a terrible thing?
Your Aunt Amy is insane. She was in love with a man named George Wheeler, but she was forced to turn down his proposal of marriage.
Yes, I know that, Mr. Keene.
Your husband told her that this fellow Wheeler was only after her money when he proposed to her.
Donald told her that?
Apparently, Mrs. Travers. Then Amy's older sister, Martha, forced Amy to turn George Wheeler down. Now, Amy could have blamed that on your husband and murdered him in a burst of insane frenzy.
Oh, I can't believe it, Mr. Keene.
Your Aunt Martha is a suspect because she had her sister Amy hidden away at the top of this house, and she wanted no one to know about her sister's insanity.
To prevent Aunt Amy from being taken to a mental institution.
Yes, Mrs. Travers. If your husband had been on the verge of finding out the secret, Martha Carson could have lost her head and murdered him.
But what had happened to Aunt Amy? What drove her insane?
The fact that her sister Martha broke up her romance with George Wheeler did that, Mrs. Travers. Of course, it also makes Wheeler a suspect, too. He may have had a grudge against your husband for calling him a fortune hunter.
And, Mrs. Travers, we've got a fourth suspect, a handyman named Luther Prague.
We found your husband's watch and wallet in his possession, and also a gun that may turn out to be the murder weapon.
Did he rob my husband?
Luther Prague claims that he did that after the murder had been committed by someone else. Well, that remains to be seen.
But, Mr. Keene, you say you know who actually killed my husband.
I think I do. And I'll be able to put the murderer under arrest very shortly. Now, let me ask you something. What do you know about your aunt's finances?
Why, practically nothing, Mr. Keene.
If your husband thought George Wheeler was a fortune hunter, and that was the reason he wanted to marry Amy Carson, he must have thought your aunt had money.
And you believe she has a great deal of money, is that it?
Let's say she had.
What do you mean?
A few minutes ago in the cellar, we found part of the wall broken open. It had evidently been a hiding place for valuables. Valuables that had been stolen just before we entered the cellar.
Oh, does Aunt Martha know that, Mr. Keene?
Not yet, Mrs. Travers.
Oh, Mr. Keene, no matter how this case turns out, I want you to know that I'm so grateful to you for all you've done.
Mr. Keene.
Boss, it's George Wheeler.
Mr. Keene, Amy Carson has returned home.
She's been found, Mr. Wheeler?
She came to my house after she escaped, and I brought her home. Her sister Martha's with her now, upstairs in Amy's room.
I want to talk to her immediately.
You want me to go with you, Mr. Keene?
No, Mike. I'd rather you stay here with Mrs. Travers and George Wheeler. Just a few minutes now, we ought to know the final answer to this mystery and put Donald Travers' murderer under arrest.
Amy, you must listen to me. You know who I am, don't you, Amy? Don't you?
You're my sister, Martha.
Why did you run away?
I wanted to see George.
George?
I wanted him to marry me.
You're never to speak to George Wheeler again, do you hear? Amy, listen to me. Our nephew, Donald Travers, has been murdered. I've been trying to get you to remember that.
Donald?
He was shot to death downstairs in this house last night.
Good. I'm glad Donald's dead. Glad, do you hear? I hated him. Hated him.
Amy, don't talk like that. Mr. Keene may hear you.
Donald said George was no good. He lied. And I'm glad he's dead.
Amy! Mr. Keene.
Mr. Keene?
Miss Martha, George Wheeler just told me your sister Amy had returned.
Amy, this is Mr. Keene, the famous investigator. You remember him? You saw him just before you ran away.
Oh?
Miss Martha, I have some news for you. I believe you've been robbed.
Robbed?
We found an open hole in the cellar wall and a $50 bill on the floor, which the thief must have dropped.
All our money was hidden inside that wall. Over $50,000. Oh, I've got to see. I've got to find out. Go on.
Now, Amy, I want to ask you some questions.
Questions?
Do you remember hearing a shot last night?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Keene.
You know that your niece's husband, Donald Travers, is dead.
Yes. My sister told me.
Both you and your sister are under suspicion of murdering him, Amy. And so are the handyman Luther Prague and George Wheeler.
Don't blame George. You can't arrest George. I won't let you. I'll kill you first. I'll kill you with this.
Where did you get that knife, Amy?
You didn't know I had a knife hidden inside my sash, did you, Mr. Keene? I picked it up in George's house. And now it's going to come in handy.
Amy, please put the knife down on that table.
You're afraid of me, aren't you? Of course you are. For all you know, I killed Donald Travers.
Did you, Amy?
I had a good reason, didn't I, Mr. Keene? I hated him more than I've ever hated anyone in my life.
But I'm your friend. Now try to calm yourself.
And I'm glad Donald's dead. Do you understand? It makes me happy.
Amy, give me that knife.
No, Mr. Keene. I'm going to use this knife on you. I'm going to use it on you, Mr. Keene.
But you have nothing against me. And you're not angry with me. I only want to help you.
I don't believe it.
Amy, you're going to give me that knife right now.
No.
I'm your friend. You know that. And you're ill. Very ill.
Yes. I'm ill.
So put the knife down, Amy. Put it down.
All right.
That's better. I'll take the knife now.
Boss, are you all right? I heard Amy from downstairs.
Did she try to use that knife on you, Mr. Keene?
For a moment, Mr. Wheeler, I thought she would. Mike, search George Wheeler.
What? Hey, don't move, mister. Saints preserve us. Wheeler's pockets are loaded with $1,000 bills.
Which he stole from the Carson sisters' hiding place in the cellar. And George Wheeler is the man who murdered Donald Travers.
Do you think you can prove that, Mr. Keene?
I'm sure I can, Mr. Wheeler. For one thing, you planted the murder gun in Luther Prague's shack.
When he found the watch Luther stole from the murdered man's body, Mr. Keene?
Yes, Mike. Wheeler told us he'd searched Luther's shack carefully. If he had, he would certainly have found that gun. So it means that George Wheeler planted the gun there himself.
And what about them footprints in the cellar, boss?
That was my second clue, Mike. The footprints were made by a man who was wearing heavy rubber-soled sports shoes, like Wheeler is wearing now.
That still isn't enough proof against me.
Boss, this fellow Wheeler must have been searching this house for that money when Donald Travers walked in and surprised him.
Yes, Mike. That's why he murdered Travers. But he still hadn't found out where the Carson sisters kept their fortune hidden. He didn't learn that until tonight.
Well, how do you think he found out tonight, boss?
I told him.
Amy, be quiet.
You told him, Amy?
Yes. George said he'd take me away and marry me if I told him where we had our money hidden.
That was when you went to George Wheeler's home tonight, Amy?
Yes, Mr. Keene. George brought me back here, and we went into the cellar. I showed him where our money was hidden, and then he sent me upstairs. George, You will marry me now, won't you?
You mad woman, let go of me! You insane fool!
Mr. Keene, it's gone. Our money's gone. But your partner's holding it.
Yes, Miss Martha. We've recovered your money. It was George Wheeler who stole it, and it was he who murdered young Donald Travers.
Yes, you're right, Keene. I killed him when he walked in on me last night. But he had it coming to him anyway. I could have married Amy if it hadn't been for him.
Mr. Keene, I had as much to do with breaking up that marriage as Donald did. For selfish reasons, I must admit now. But I'll make up for the way I treated Amy. I will, Amy. I promise. You'll get medical treatment and a cure if it takes all our money.
And George Wheeler will get the electric chair. Put him under arrest, Mike, for the murder of Donald Travers.
And so Mr. Keene finds the solution to the Shrieking Prisoner murder case. Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons, is based on the novel Mr. Keene. The radio sequel is originated and produced by Frank and Ann Hummert. Dialogue by Lawrence Clee. Directed by Blair Walliser. Philip Clark plays Mr. Keene. Don't miss Mr. Keene next Monday at the same time when the kindly old tracer turns to The Case of Murder and the One-Eyed Gypsy. A most unusual Western program is the many times cited CBS radio series called Gunsmoke. This half-hour Saturday night adventure program recreates the authentic atmosphere of old Dodge City when the West was young and wild. In the character of United States Marshal Matt Dillon, you have a composite of all the restless, uncertain men who did their best to fight the battle for law and order according to their own lights. Remember, Gunsmoke is yours for thrills every Saturday night over most of these same stations. Your announcer, George Bryan. Gangbusters go into action Saturday nights on the CBS Radio Network.